Can you see this well? Let's see, maybe if we get it really, really close. That's good. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm really low-key today. Sorry about that, but this is my 1 week check-in. This is my very first week using the TruSkin Serum, which is vitamin C, E, and hyaluronic acid. I'll put some information in the info below this video on the reasons why they would combine E and hyaluronic acid in a vitamin C serum. Very, very good reasons, including the fact that they help, basically they also help the vitamin C and they help your skin repair, renew, and also get closer to your original color. So I have some blemishes, which is one of the reasons why I'm using it red, and this is the reason why I have this way and not on both arms. I have this really, really bad super tan, which happened because it's not just a tan, it's hyperpigmentation. In other words, I was outside, it was 100 degrees, I was doing I was selling all of my old things we were moving, and so I went outside and I got a little bit tired, and I didn't do the things I'm supposed to do. Like I didn't wear a shirt over the other shirt, I didn't wear a hat. So anyways, I got really, really burned. And this gives you an idea. This, I've never actually been this color before. This is brand new for me. And it's really embarrassing because the top half of my arm is something totally different than the bottom half of my arm. And then here's my hand. These are even more colors than before. The side of my hand, the inside of my hand versus my face. So let me give you a better idea of why this would be so traumatizing to me, because it might not be for you. When you get a hyperpigmentation issue like what I'm talking about, it's not just that you've got a little bit darker so you're upset, or oh, now my clothes don't make my eyes pop. It's not like that. It's because basically you've been burned by the sun. Your skin hurts. My arms are extremely sensitive whenever I touch my arms. My face is extremely sensitive, and your skin doesn't just suddenly stop feeling sensitive. It takes a very, very long time. You get this weird sort of texture wherever the darkening is, and that's because it's darkening because your skin is making an effort to try and kind of stop the burn. But in actuality, what's happening is that it's like there's heat that's trapped in your skin. That's what it feels like too. Like an hour or two later, if you're indoors, you've been in the dark, you've taken all those clothes off. That's very important. You have to take all the clothes off that you are wearing and take a cold shower. It really does help. It doesn't stop it, but it does slow down some of the burning process. But you're still going to hurt and you're still going to itch, and a lot of skin is going to be coming off, and all those things happen for me. A lot of people get confused and they assume that because of the melanin, you don't burn. In actuality, you do burn. It's just that it might take a little bit longer before your skin were to burn versus someone who was a little bit paler. But in actuality, for me, I begin burning pretty instantly, and it really, really hurts. It's very painful. And other people are looking at me and going, wow, I wish I was that color. And I'm like, oh, I'm happy for you, but it really hurts. So part of what I'm doing isn't just an effort to change the color, but it's an effort to repair. And as it repairs, it's going to go back to its natural color. I hope that makes sense. And I'll put a link to a very, very wonderful video that's on YouTube that explains from a doctor's perspective, from someone who actually knows all the technical jargon off the top of their head, why it would be so important and how these different chemicals work together, and how these different nutrients work together in order to help repair your skin, and why that affects the way your skin looks. But let's just go back to this for now. I started using this 7 days ago. I got it on a very special sale on Amazon. More than $15 was taken off, so I got it for $15. Usually this 2 fluid ounce bottle would be $35 or something like that. Instead, I got it for more than $15 off. So my total came out to 15, but before, a little bit more than 15, but before then it was actually below that because the state that I'm in requires tax. So there you go. Right now, my arm actually really hurts because it was really abrasive to me when I took this other side of my sleeve off my other arm. So that gives you an idea. So this is actually going to end up being a 3-pronged review because I'm going to review the TruSkin Serum, vitamin C serum with the E and hyaluronic acid, with a hyaluronic lotion. This is an aqualuronic lotion, but it also has hyaluronic acid in it. And you're going to understand why it's changed color in a minute. I'm going to tell you all about that. And that's where this third prong comes in. It's called Kojic acid. So this was a Kojic acid bottle that I got. It's supposed to be dried It says Pigment Corrector Boss Essentials. So this is going to end up being kind of, like I said, three-pronged. Okay, so I put this on, and what I've noticed is that there's some areas that begin to almost prickle up and then stand up, almost like I just got a sunburn. And that tells me that I'm not spreading it out thinly enough. So I tried a couple different ways to put it on my skin, because I'm putting it on both my arms, especially, there's the ring, especially the darker area of my arms, putting it on the darker area of my arms and also my face. So the first way that I did it was to just take this and go whoop right across, and then spread. And that's when I got these different areas that have, they're not breakouts, but they're irritations. I hope that I can get close enough that you can see it. It's starting to go down now. Some reddening and some areas of the skin that got really dry and kind of stood out. On the other hand, the blemishes are definitely going away. These are the blemishes that were there a long time ago. But I've just noticed that, in other words, they say that this stuff is really, really strong, because they're saying that the strength that they used of vitamin C, the quotient of vitamin C that's in this, is actually very strong. It's very potent. And I felt it for myself, because you can get a little bit of acid burn, so be careful. It's not going to be really bad. At least it wasn't very bad for me, but it was a lot of irritation in different places. Wherever the thickest amount had initially dropped, that's where the irritation broke out the worst. So here's the second thing, the thing that kind of reacted with this that might not have been for the better. I used my AHC lotion directly afterwards, and it was fine. It was just a little bit tingly, like tingle, but it wasn't a real problem. But then I got it in my head. I said, hey, I'm at my very, very last bit of my hyaluronic acid lotion. Why not go ahead and give adding the kojic acid a try? Because they say that if you combine those two things together, it's going to help. So I don't have any, L-arbutin that I know of, any L-arbutin powder or serum or anything that I could combine this with. I think there is maybe a little bit in the AHC hyaluronic lotion. I haven't memorized exactly what's in it off the top of my head. But my idea was, why not go ahead and put some of the kojic acid powder in there? They say on the back of this bottle that all you have to do is put in a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons in 8 fluid ounces of your favorite lotion, and let it fully dissolve. Give it a full 24 hours before you patch test it on your skin. So I patch tested it on my arm. So your arm skin is a lot more resilient than the skin on your face. The skin on your face is much more fragile. But I was really impatient, so I went straight from my arm in the same breath to my face. And I think that it definitely reacted with the vitamin C. So I would have to say, when you patch test, make sure you also patch test on every area of your body where you would like to use it potentially, unless it's a private area. You should never use any of these acids on a private area. But if you're going to use it on your face, patch testing on your arm doesn't work. Exhibit A. Honestly, I was just impatient, so I did it that way, but I knew better than to do it. And so what I got was a little bit burned in some different places. And it looked almost like breakouts. But if you try to pop those breakouts or force anything, I know I'm really rough on my skin. With those breakouts, nothing would happen except it would really, really hurt, and then it turned bright red. And I got some actual darker spots from doing that. This is the place where I put a really big amount of the lotion on top of the vitamin C. So here's another thing about adding the kojic acid to your lotion. So they say that kojic acid all by itself is not going to really work unless you combine it with another acid, like something like hyaluronic, something that's meant to not only be an acid, but something that's also meant to help cell production, cell turnover. And so that's one of the reasons why you would combine hyaluronic acid with kojic acid rather than just adding vitamin C to kojic acid. You might think, well, why not add any acid to kojic acid? You want to add something that's actually going to help repair your skin, because kojic acid is an acid, it's extremely acidic, and you want something that's going to help repair your skin while this helps to get rid of the old, darker stuff. Okay, well, here's one of the things that they also mention, that you have to be careful about the lotions that you put the kojic acid into, because it can cause your lotion to yellow because it doesn't interact well with the iron that's in your lotion. Iron in your lotion? Yes, that's right. There's iron in your lotion because that's part of what keeps your lotion how I put it, even lotion, especially if it's all natural materials, can go bad. It can sour. So they put iron in a lot of lotions to help keep it nice, to help keep it having that nice fresh smell and keep it from basically turning. So the thing about kojic acid is that it is an acid and doesn't react well with iron at all. And case in point, that happens. I don't know how well you can tell, but it's turned yellow. So this bottle is blue. And you might think, well, then doesn't that mean it's a different color? Ugh. Yeah. The smell hasn't totally turned, but I mean, it's like, it's a really gross, like vibrant yellow, actually. I don't know if it's officially safe anymore. I'm not going to just throw it out before I know, so I'm going to put some on my legs. Why not? I'm running out. People can't just go throwing it out, but I gotta tell you, probably shouldn't be using it at all. I'm just trying to be frugal and to work with what I have. So I'll tell you about that patch test I just did on my leg later. So anyways, if you're going to use the hyaluronic acid with the kojic acid, remember, don't do it in a lotion that has any iron in it, because any amount of iron will react very badly in class with the kojic acid. So what I'm going to try later tonight, and I'll try and do a recording of that too, is making kojic acid soap. How does all this possibly fit into a video about this? Because this is not supposed to work on its own. This is not supposed to work all by itself. It's supposed to need some sort of lotion to go on afterwards in order to fully hydrate the skin, because this can be very, very dehydrating, even though it's so good for your skin, which is why they add the hyaluronic acid, which is why they add the E most of all, to basically put hydration back into your skin after it dries out your cells. Here's the thing though. Although my skin feels a little bit tacky afterwards, it feels great, especially if I do it the right way. So I'm going to show you right now what that looks like. So this is most of a dropper. The dropper refuses to pick up an entire dropper full. It's being smart. Yes, I did put it closer to my eyes than I'm supposed to. Okay, so you saw it here. That was one dropper. Didn't even fill the entire dropper, and it worked for my entire face. Don't do more than that. I tried to do more than that because I wanted to see that the results would just zoom past and I'd be at some amazing, magical skin tone in the next 7 days. My skin tone has lightened up a lot. These blemishes do look a lot better, with the exception of the ones that I caused. That's something that I messed up, and I made that happen because I wanted to see if I could do a patch test where I just put lots and lots of it on. I just laid it on and then watched it change color. I wanted to see if I could do that because I did that on this part right above my elbow and also my elbow. The color on my elbow is a lot lighter than it was, believe it or not. Part of the reason why there's such bad pigmentation on my elbow is because a long time ago I had a very bad fall on a bicycle, and I basically pulled open the skin on both of my elbows. I went skidding, and it was on this gravel path, and I got lots of gravel on my elbows. It was really painful. It was incredible. Well, it looked really bad. I was actually pretty close to the bone, especially on this one, which I'm not going to show you because it's going to hurt to take this off again. But anyways, yeah, so my very first patch test with this vitamin C lotion was this. I'm going to show you. It's not lotion, it's serum. I'm going to show you exactly what that was like. This is literally what I did. Well, this part looks the darkest, I said. Done. That's what I did. And then I kind of smeared it a little bit, put that little excess on my elbow. I left it like that. I didn't spread it out. And I have to say, I guess the skin on my arms is even stronger than I realized. I know that it's thicker than the skin on your face, but it's a lot stronger and more resilient than I realized, because right now it feels like someone's blowing really, really cold air onto my arm, and it is a tiny bit stingy, but that's the way it feels whenever I put lotion on my arms since that really bad sunburn. But it doesn't actually feel bad, and my skin is soaking it up crazy quickly. I don't know if you can tell, but it's going away pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if it was totally done by the time this video was done. My point is just, I did this patch test like this with the vitamin C in my arm, and then I went, hey, why don't I do this on my face? And this is where I did it. So this is what happens. If you do a patch test that's really, really thick on your face, it makes your face break out really, really bad. It's not breakout as in like pimples or something. It's breakout as in it makes your skin angry. It basically, I burned a small area of my face, putting way too much vitamin C on one section of my face to see what would happen. So now you know, that's what happens. Don't do that. Okay, so I do have to say, after a full week of using the vitamin C serum, I'm very happy with it. It's a fantastic product. I am seeing the color from the hyperpigmentation start to go away already. But also, I have to say that my skin, especially on my arms, feels better than it did. My facial skin is just really, really, really sensitive, which makes sense. But it doesn't hurt my face at all unless I use it incorrectly. In other words, use it, don't abuse it. And enjoy the benefits. I hope that you go out and you try this. This is pretty great. I found it on Amazon, and that's pretty much what I review when it comes to skincare, because out in the areas that I've been in the past couple of years, the only way for me to try different skincare has been through Amazon. And if you want reviews from an INFJ, which I am, that you might have been looking for, but specifically on skincare, trying to figure out what the next skincare thing you might want to try is, or maybe you just have a hyperpigmentation problem from really bad sunburns, or maybe you just have some hyperpigmentation problems and you want to see what there is out there. Use me as your guinea pig. I am here for you. Go ahead and put in the description or in the chat below. Tell me what you would like me to try next, and I will start saving up towards that. Towards that end, if you have time, please follow and check out my GoFundMe. I'm trying really hard to raise some more money, not only for this channel, but also to pay my utility bills. Not your problem, but it's there. Anyways, that's part of why it's so important to me to find really, really high quality products off of Amazon, because I think I can trust Amazon. At least I know that I can trust Amazon to get those things to me. And I know from experience now over the past couple of months that I can get real high quality Japanese or Korean skincare through Amazon straight from Korea or straight from Japan without having to worry about the over exorbitant fees of trying to get it from over there, or so much time in between. So if you'd like to see my follow-up with a couple other products, stay tuned on this channel. I'll be doing my next follow-up with another product that I've been using tomorrow. And so long and good night. Bye, everybody. There it is. Oh.